Go ahead and get started.
Alright everybody, let's go ahead and get ready for our warm-up. We're going to be starting off with march in place. We're going to be doing each one of these for 30 seconds. Just a nice high knee march. Just keep those feet moving. You want to slowly start increasing that range of motion as you can. So start with a relatively small range of motion and then start increasing as you get further and further into this exercise. We're about 15 seconds in. We've got another 15 seconds to go on this one. Start working those knees up just a little bit higher, try to get a little more range of motion out of those hips. We're moving to a jog in place next. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and switch that jog in place. Bring those heels up. Stand on the ball of that foot for just a few seconds before we switch over the other foot. Nice even pace. Again, start relatively slow. You can always speed it up as you get further into it. Let those ankles and calves start to warm up. Start bringing that core temperature up just a little bit. Got about 10 seconds left until we move on to our next exercise, which is going to be a torso twist. 4, 3, 2, 1, and switch it. Standing with those feet a little wider than shoulder width apart. You're going to rotate those shoulders back and forth. Try to keep those hips relatively stationary. Mainly try and just get a rotation around that torso. So twisting those shoulders left to right as far as you can, as far as it's comfortable for that lower back. Again, start trying to push that range of motion a little bit more as you get further into it. We've got about 10 seconds left until we switch to our next. We'll be doing a row plus a lateral step next. 3, 2, 1, and switch it. So just a lateral step, kind of a side lunge. Doing a nice long motion with those arms, so stretching out in front of your chest, then squeezing them back behind you, constantly working against yourself. So you want those muscles working against those arms, your bicep and tricep working against themselves, your chest and your rhomboids working against themselves, trying to get a full range of motion and warm up that upper body. Really focus on that step as well, opening up those hips, getting those legs nice and warmed up. Got just a couple seconds left until we switch to squats. And go ahead and switch it. This is just a traditional squat. Feet, again, just about shoulder width apart or a little bit wider if you want. Dropping down as low as you can, as low as is comfortable. Try to get a really nice deep squat on every single one of them. Again, you can always start with a slightly more limited range of motion if those joints are still a little bit cold. But as long as they're nice and warm, start trying to push that range of motion, get as much out of it as you can. Got about another 10 seconds. This is our last stretch or our last warm-up. Just keep it going. 2, 1, and let it relax. Alright, good job. That's the end of our warm-up. Let's go and get ready for our next 2 exercises. Let's go and get ready for our cardio portion of this routine. Remember, we're doing 2 exercises at a time, 40 seconds each with a 15-second break, active rest in between. So let's go ahead and get started with our first exercise, which will be a slow burpee. Let's go ahead and start it up. We'll be stepping out with 1 foot at a time. Those hands go down to the ground. Nice, slow, controlled motion. Make sure every single time you step out, you're starting with the opposite foot you did last time. So every single time those hands drop down, 1 foot goes out. The next time you drop down, you want the opposite foot to start out. So just keep that motion going. Nice full extension at the top of that range of motion. Again, just keep it nice and slow, under control. Keep that pace nice and even. Keep those lungs open, and just try to work on getting a nice full range of motion. Only got a few seconds left until we switch to that active rest. 4, 3, 2, 1, and let it relax. Jog in place. We got 15 seconds of jogging in place. Just keep those feet moving. If you end up getting really, really tired in between these exercises, you can always just stand and shuffle your feet back and forth, just kind of rocking back and forth, but always try to do something a little bit more intense. Alright, let's go and move into a jumping jack. Nice full range of motion. Nice quick motion. Again, barely letting those feet touch the ground before you're jumping them back in the opposite direction. Keep those lungs open, breathing constantly. Make sure you never hold your breath. Just keep that motion under control at a nice, constant pace. Got about 10 seconds left until we switch back to that active rest. 4, 3, 2, 1, and jog in place. That's 1 of each. We've got 1 more of each of these exercises, and we'll move to the next group. So once we're done with this active rest, we're moving back to that slow burpee. In 3, 2, 1, and start that slow burpee up again. Again, nice slow controlled motion. 1 foot at a time goes out, 1 foot at a time comes back in. Make sure you're alternating which foot you start with or which foot you lead with every single time. Keep those lungs open. Make sure you're really trying to focus on getting a nice full range of motion. Take the time to get those hips nice and low. Every single time you extend those legs out back behind you. Just keep it going. Got 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and active rest. Jogging in place. Nice quick motion. Now if you want to make this into more of a cardio exercise, you can always do high knees instead. And switch it back. We're going to jumping jacks again. It's our last round of jumping jacks. Make sure you're moving nice and quick, but under control. You never want those arms or legs out of control. You don't want to just swing them around. You want to keep them nice and rigid, nice controlled motion on that arm and that leg. Keep those lungs open. Try to keep a nice, even pace. 10 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1, and let it relax. Good job. That's our first round down. Let's go and get ready for our next. Our next 2 exercises are going to be a lateral step and reach and a ventral jack. So let's go ahead and get started with that lateral step and reach. Go ahead and stepping left to right, starting with those hands up over your head. Get a nice wide lunging motion. As you reach down to that opposite foot with opposite hand, so left hand to right foot, right hand to left foot, rotating those shoulders, really trying to get as much range of motion out of this as you can. You can always limit that range of motion if you need to, but try to get as much as you can, really trying to challenge yourself. Again, just keep those lungs open, make sure you're breathing normally, never hold your breath. Got about 10 seconds left until we switch to that active rest. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and jog in place. Get those feet moving. Again, this is just whatever you need to kind of recover a little bit to get into that next exercise. So if you're not really all that tired, you can always make it harder. If you are tired, you can always make it easier. And we're moving to those ventral jacks next, and go ahead and switch it. Those arms come straight up in front of your body. This is almost the same exact motion as a regular jumping jack. The only difference is that arm motion. So instead of coming up and out to the side, it's just coming straight in front of your body. Same rules apply though. Make sure that back stays nice and neutral. Make sure you're barely letting those feet touch the ground before you jump back in the opposite direction. You can always speed this motion up as long as you can control those muscles to those legs and those arms and not let them flail around. Got 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let it relax. Go into that jog in place again. Just keep those feet moving. Never stop moving. Keep those lungs open. Barely letting that foot touch the ground before you're hopping back over the other side. And go ahead and switch it back. Go into that lateral step and reach again. Nice full range of motion. Make sure you have a really nice full stretch. Stretching those hands up above your head every single time you come back to the center. You're getting a really good rotation to those shoulders. And a nice deep lunge every single time you go off to the sides. Again, just keep those lungs open. Keep a nice, even pace. You can always speed this motion up a little bit if you want to make it a little bit harder. But whatever you do, don't make it out of control. You want to always be under control with these. 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1, and jog in place. Got one more round of those ventral jacks coming up. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and start them up. Arms come straight up in front of that chest. Pause right at shoulder height, and then right back down. Slap in the front of that thigh, and then back up again. Again, make it as quick of a motion as you can control. Just making sure everything is nice and controlled. You don't have anything going, flailing around or loose. You want to make sure that arm and that leg are both really nice and tight. seconds left. Keep those lungs open. Keep that motion nice and quick. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let it relax. Nicely done. Our next two exercises are going to be a high knee pause and a fly jack. That high knee pause will be 3 steps, and then on the third one, you're going to pause with one knee up in the air. It's just a short pause for a 2 count and then right back down again. All right, so let's go ahead and get ready with that high knee pause and start it up. It's a really nice quick motion, basically just like regular high knees. You're going to want to move those feet as quick as you possibly can, but every third time, you're going to pause with one knee up in the air. Hold it for just a couple seconds, and then move it back again, another 3 steps. Just keep that motion going. You want to make sure everything is under control constantly, because as soon as you hit that pause motion, you have to hold it. So if you're out of control, you're going to lose your balance. You got 10 seconds left. Keep those lungs open. Keep those feet moving. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go to that active rest. Just jogging in place and then boxer shuffle. Again, if you want to make it harder, just start speeding those feet up a little bit more, or start doing a little bit higher knee motion. Moving to fly jacks next, and switch it. Those fly jacks come straight in front of your chest, just like you're clapping, a really big clapping motion right in front of that chest. The legs do the same exact motions of regular jumping jack, just out and back. Every single time those hands come together, those feet come together, and every time those feet come apart, those hands come apart. It's a nice big full range of motion. Again, try to keep everything nice and tight, those legs and those arms. Never let those arms or legs out of control, never let them go loose. Just keep that motion going, keep those lungs open. Got just about 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and switch that active rest. That's our first of each one of those exercises done. We got one more round of each exercise. Starting back over with that high knee pause. 3, 2, 1, and switch it. Remember, pause in that third step. Keep it going, keep those lungs open, nice big full range of motion with those knees. Try to keep those knees up as high as you can, especially with that pause. When you stop, you want to try to keep that knee as high as you possibly can in that range of motion. Nice quick movement. Just 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back to that active rest. Jogging in place, and then boxer shuffle. Try to recover as best you can. Nice deep breath. 3, 2, 1, and back to those fly jacks. Nice big motion right in front of that chest. Try to get those arms to come actually back behind your chest just a little bit, so get a really good stretch of that shoulder as well as getting that full range of motion in front of that chest. Just keep it going, quick motion, keep those core muscles nice and tight, keep those lungs open. 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let it relax. Good job.